lemon sole. So if you look just here on the gill, there's a little bit of lemony colour, and it's got an oval sort of shape, quite wide oval shape, in comparison to basically some of the other flatfish that we've got. We're going to start by trimming away all the fins on each side, and trimming away the tail, so that we can fillet away the flesh from this fish. So using a pair of scissors, just work your way around, taking the fins off the side of the fish, and just trim those off. And then the other side the same, turn the fish over. See that the fish is very white underneath. Obviously it shows that it's a wild fish, because wild fish are very white on the underside, whereas basically any fish that are farmed, especially flatfish that are farmed, tend to be much darker on the other underside. So off that comes, and then we trim away the tail as well. So now we're going to look at filleting this fish. So if we look at the top, we've got the head, and if we just run your finger wherever the tip of the knife is, you can feel the bones go around the head and down this lateral line that you can see. It's a dividing line that divides the fillet in half. So just feel with your finger, and you should be able to feel where that goes around the bony bit around the head, and just cut round it, and then follow that natural line that you can see down the middle of the fish, which divides both fillets in half. Just run your knife. That's where the main part of the backbone is. The sort of the backbone is slightly triangular there, and that's the tip of the backbone. So you're cutting straight down onto it. Using a flexible knife, just cut a slight angle along that, just that little bit of the bone where it's slightly triangular, across the bottom of the fillet, and then just keep running your knife flat along the actual bones. So what you're doing is you're sort of skimming the flesh off of the fish, just keeping nice and flat. And then if you press your hand down it, keep your hand well away from the blade, and just lay the knife that flat onto the bones, so that it basically continues to just cut straight across that fish. Work your way all the way up to the tip, to the head, so you can just get underneath the head there and get it all off. So that's one fillet. That's the long fillet on the dark side. So each side has a long and a short fillet. So this is the short fillet on the other side. And you see that where the bone sort of slightly triangular like that, and it goes up one side, and then what you've got to do is just push your knife onto the other side, and you can see where it basically comes up that triangular bit there. Up here at the top, we've got a little bit where the guts would be, right, and a slightly bony bit. Now, cut through that, because we don't want to mess about with that now. We'll take that off later. So just cut through it, and it makes it much easier to get that fillet off. And again, knife flat onto the bones, yeah, just cutting across those bones, keeping your hand away from where the knife comes out on the bottom, yeah, and then skimming that fillet off. So we get all that fillet comes off, and the bones are lovely and clean underneath. And off it comes. That's a short fillet from the dark side of the actual fish. So you see, nice and clean, yeah, bones on each side. Turn the fish over. Now the white fillets on the other side, exactly the same, going round the head and down the central line that's at the bottom. You will find that these fillets are slightly smaller or thinner than the fillets on the other side. You still have a long and a short fillet, but they are slightly thinner. So running the knife again, around the head, down that lateral line that divides the two fillets in half. Yeah, again, knife, a slight angle across that little triangular bit in the middle. Yeah, and then to just prise away the flesh carefully. Yeah, keep prising it away until you can get the knife underneath it. Cross the bottom of the fillet again, and again, nice and flat. Yeah, knife again on the actual bones, nice and flat, so that basically you're just skimming that bone off. Yeah, skimming the fillets off the bone. Yeah. And again, keep your hand nice and away from the where the knife is coming out. So just keep cutting it like that. That's it. Off it comes. And this is the long fillet on the white side of the fish, or the underside of the fish. That's that long fillet. Last fillet we're going to take off is the short one. And again, here on this side, there's not a cut where the fillet meets the top. So you cut through it. And again, you've got a little bit of bony bit at the top, right? So, you know, don't worry about that. Just cut straight through it, take that off with the fillet, and we'll basically look at that later. But again, using the flexibility of the knife, a filleting knife is flexible so that you can get underneath it, yeah, and you can push it down flat without having to worry the knife's going to snap. And again, just very carefully skimming away, yeah, taking that off, yeah, and completely take it off. Bones, lovely and clean. Yeah, it gives you a lovely clean frame of bones. Yeah, and the actual fillets themselves. Yeah, all nice and clean. No bones on the fillets. We've got a slight on the edges of the fillet now, where the fins are attached to. You've got just a slight line that you can see. So just trim that away, because we're going to take that off. Knife all the way around very carefully. Just pull that off, and that gives you the main part of the fillet. So that's still got the skin on it. And take the skin off. We get underneath it, the tip of the skin. Yeah. Make sure the knife is lovely and flat, really flat, yeah, so that you're cutting the minimum amount of basically skin off the flesh, right? There's no flesh basically going to be on that skin. So just series in back and forwards. Right, if we look at that skin, now there's nothing on it. It's clean, yeah. Lovely clean fillet, yeah, with the skin taken off. So that's the long fillet on the white side. Take another one. And you see this is the other on the dark side. This is the short fillet on the dark side, and this has got a little bony bit at the top. But again, skinning is exactly the same, right? We skin by basically running the knife nice and flat underneath that, along the skin, yeah, to skim that basically fillet, the meat of the fillet off. Again, lovely clean skin. Slightly smaller fillet, yeah. The bony bit at the top, see, now we trim that off. That's all the bones you're going to find on these fillets. There's no other bones on them. So we just trim those bones away. And that's a short fillet. Take the next one. And again, just trim off that skirt. Follow the knife around it. It's quite easy to see where that joins and where you need to cut. It's not ambiguous in any way. Yeah, you can see it. It's easy to cut. Again, we take that, just cutting across there. Fit that away. Take the skin off. And then lovely clean fillet. Just trim away the end. Last one. Here we've got a small amount of roe that sits on the inside. We just pull that roe off. Depending on the time of year, sometimes there'll be more or less roe in the actual fish themselves. Again, going around trimming the edge of that skirt and then skinning the fillet. That's it. That's the last fillet skinned. So we've got all 4 fillets skinned now. Again, trim away anything that's basically the excess that we've got there to give us that nice slender fillet. And these are the first of our 2 joints, which are our fillets. Yeah, so these are single fillets, and they can be cooked like that as a nice flat fillet. There's all our trimmings that we've got left over from the fish, and the actual fish bones, which we can use for fish bones. Well, flat fish bones or white fish bones are very, very good for making stocks. So basically we'd use those for stocks. So we've got a short fillet and a long fillet. So if we take the short fillets can be used basically as they are. The long fillets, we can fold them over into what we call a delise. So you can see that it's a folded fillet. So folded the tip under and the back under. Yeah. And we fold those under to give us our delise. We can put a stuffing inside the delise if we want to. So we've got our just normal flat fillets, and then we've got our delise.